Good morning, everyone. Today I want to talk about something that isn't just a trait or a value. It's a foundation. It's the one thing that defines how you live, how you lead, and how you love. It's self-respect. Self-respect is basically defending the integrity of our perception, defining us inside that we are what we seem. So self-respect isn't just about standing tall, it's about standing firm. It's about knowing who you are, what you stand for, and refusing to let anyone, including yourself, diminish your worth. It's about having the confidence to say, this is who I am, and I will not compromise my identity, my values, or my dignity. But let me tell you something about self-respect. It's not something that's handed to you. It's not given by society, your family, or your peers. It's earned. And earning it doesn't come easy. It's built through the choices you make, the boundaries you set, and the courage you show to live authentically, unapologetically, and fearlessly as yourself. Here's the thing, self-respect is not an overnight achievement. It's a daily practice. It's in the way you carry yourself when no one is watching. It's in the decisions you make when faced with compromise. It's in the moments when you stand up for yourself, even when your voice shakes. And let me make this clear, self-respect is not arrogance. It's not about putting yourself above others or inflating your ego. It's about knowing your worth and treating yourself with the same dignity and kindness you extend to others. It's about rejecting anything or anyone that diminishes your value, whether that's toxic relationships, unhealthy habits, or self-doubt. In a world that constantly tries to tell you who you should be, self-respect is your anchor. It's what keeps you grounded when you're tempted to conform, to shrink yourself to fit into spaces that were never meant for you, or to chase validation from others at the cost of your own peace. Now, let me ask you, when was the last time you truly valued yourself? Not for your achievements, not for how you look, not for how others see you, but simply for who you are. Because self-respect starts there. It starts with you. So today I want to take you on a journey to discover what it truly means to respect yourself, to honor your worth, and to protect the essence of who you are. It's not an easy journey. Promise you, it's the most important one you'll ever take. Let's explore 6 key principles that define and cultivate self-respect. These aren't just ideas, they're tools. Tools you can use to build a life where you stand tall, stand firm, and stand proud. Are you ready to dive in? Let's begin. Self-respect begins with one fundamental truth. You must know your worth. If you don't believe in your own value, the world won't either. It's as simple and as powerful as that. End quote. The world uses that verbatim as their quote. Knowing your worth doesn't mean being boastful or arrogant. It's not about walking around with a sense of entitlement or demanding recognition. It's about having a quiet, unshakable confidence in the value you bring to the table. It's about recognizing your unique skills, talents, and qualities, and understanding that they matter no matter what anyone else might say. Would you think about it? If you walked into a store and saw a priceless item with no price tag, what would you do? Most people wouldn't even consider buying it. Why? Because no one values something that doesn't seem to value itself. The same applies to us. When you don't know your worth, you're essentially putting a discount sign on yourself for the world to see. But here's the thing. Your worth isn't determined by external factors. It's not about how much money you make, the car you drive, or the followers you have on social media. It's not about titles, awards, or societal standards. Your worth is intrinsic. It's rooted in who you are, not what you've achieved. When you truly understand your worth, you stop settling for relationships that drain you, for jobs that don't challenge you, for opportunities that don't align with your purpose. You stop accepting less than what you deserve, and you start demanding more from yourself and the world around you. But knowing your worth isn't just about what you say no to. It's also about what you say yes to. It's about opening yourself up to possibilities, to growth, to love, and to opportunities that elevate you. It's about choosing people and environments that celebrate your value instead of questioning it. This journey of understanding your worth isn't easy. It requires you to strip away the layers of self-doubt, insecurity, and external validation that have been built over the years. It means facing the voice inside your head that whispers, "You're not enough," and replacing it with one that says, "I am worthy just as I am." And let me tell you something important. Knowing your worth doesn't mean everyone will agree with you. There will be people who doubt you, who try to diminish you, who tell you that you're asking for too much. But here's the secret. Their opinions don't define your value. Only you can do that. So, how do you start this journey? Begin by spending time with yourself. Reflect on what makes you unique. Celebrate your victories, no matter how small they may seem. Identify the qualities that make you proud and own them. Surround yourself with people who uplift you and remind you of your value. Knowing your worth is a daily practice. It's not something you figure out once and forget. It's a commitment to valuing yourself in every decision you make, every relationship you nurture, and every boundary you set. Because when you know your worth, you don't just respect yourself, you teach the world to respect you too. And remember this, you are worth more than you know, stronger than you feel, and more capable than you believe. So stand tall, own your worth, and never settle for anything less than what you deserve. Self-respect requires one crucial skill, the ability to set boundaries. But let's clarify something important. Boundaries are not the same as walls. Walls keep everyone out, while boundaries teach people how to treat you. Boundaries are not acts of selfishness. They are acts of self-care. They are a way of saying, I respect myself enough to protect my time, my energy, and my peace. When you set boundaries, you're not rejecting people. You're simply teaching them the rules for being part of your life. Think of it like this. If you had a beautiful garden, would you let just anyone walk through it, trample the flowers, and leave without a care? Of course not. You'd have a fence, not to shut people out, but to ensure that those who enter understand the value of what they're stepping into. That's what boundaries are, a fence around your self-respect. Setting boundaries begins with clarity. You must first know your own limits. What are the things that drain you? What behaviors or situations make you feel disrespected? Take time to reflect on these questions, because without clarity, it's impossible to communicate your boundaries effectively. But here's the challenge. Setting boundaries isn't always comfortable. It means having difficult conversations. It means risking being misunderstood or even losing relationships. And it means standing firm even when others push back. But here's the truth. If someone doesn't respect your boundaries, they don't respect. Boundaries can look different for everyone. They might mean saying no to working overtime on weekends, even if it feels uncomfortable. They might mean refusing to engage in gossip, even when it makes you the odd one out. Or they might mean ending a friendship or relationship that consistently violates your peace. But here's the beauty of boundaries. When you set them, you're not just protecting yourself, you're also creating healthier relationships. Boundaries foster mutual respect. They create space for open communication and allow others to know where they stand. And don't confuse boundaries with isolation. Walls are about shutting people out because of fear or past pain. Boundaries, on the other hand, are about letting people in while ensuring that they treat you with care and respect. They're not about rejecting love or connection. They're about ensuring that love and connection happen on terms that honor your worth. Now, let me be honest. Setting boundaries will test you. There will be people who push against them, who guilt trip you, or who try to convince you that your boundaries are unnecessary. But here's the truth. Your boundaries are not up for negotiation. They're not about pleasing others. They're about protecting yourself. So, how do you start? Begin with small steps. Practice saying no when something doesn't feel right. Communicate your needs clearly and calmly. And remember, boundaries are a sign of strength, not weakness. When you set boundaries, you send a powerful message to the world: I value myself and I deserve to be treated with respect. And here's the secret: when you respect yourself enough to set boundaries, the right people will respect you even more. Protect your garden, set your boundaries, and remember, they're not walls, they're the foundation of self-respect. Perfection is a myth, an illusion we chase but never truly capture. And yet we often hold ourselves to impossible standards, believing that we need to be flawless to be worthy of love, respect, or success. But the truth is, it's our imperfections that make us real, relatable, and human. Embracing imperfection isn't about settling for less or giving up on self-improvement. It's about recognizing that perfection is not the goal. It's progress, growth, and authenticity that matter most. Think about the people you admire the most. Are they perfect? Or are they people who have faced challenges, made mistakes, and still managed to rise? It's their imperfections and their courage to own them that make them inspiring. When you embrace your imperfections, you free yourself from the weight of unrealistic expectations. You stop obsessing over what you lack and start appreciating who you are. You give yourself permission to try, to fail, and to learn. And most importantly, you allow yourself to be human. The pursuit of perfection often holds us back. We hesitate to take risks, fearing we'll fall short. We procrastinate, waiting for the perfect moment that never comes. We hold back our true selves, worried that others might see our flaws. But here's the reality. The world doesn't need you to be perfect. It needs you to be real. Your imperfections are not weaknesses. They are part of your story. Every scar, every mistake, every failure has shaped the person you are today. They've taught you lessons, given you strength, and made you resilient. So, how do you start? Begin by silencing your inner critic. The voice in your head that says you're not good enough, smart enough, or successful enough, it's lying. Replace self-judgment with self-compassion. Celebrate your progress instead of focusing on your shortcomings. And remind yourself daily, you are enough, exactly as you are. Embracing imperfection doesn't mean you'll never feel insecure or that you'll suddenly love every flaw, but it does mean you'll stop letting those imperfections define you. Instead of chasing perfection, you'll focus on being the best, most authentic version of yourself. And here's the most beautiful part. When you embrace your imperfections, you inspire others to do the same. You show them that it's okay to stumble, to struggle, and to grow. You become a reminder that being human is not about being flawless. It's about being fearless in your authenticity. Let go of the need to be perfect. Embrace the messy, imperfect, wonderful person you are. Because that's where your true beauty lies. Not in your perfection, but in your willingness to embrace all that you are. Self-respect isn't a destination, it's a journey. It's not something you achieve once and then forget about. It's a daily commitment to value yourself, protect your peace, and stand tall in your truth. So, as you leave here today, I want you to remember this. Respecting yourself isn't selfish. It's not optional, it's necessary. Because when you respect yourself, you set the standard for how the world treats you and for how you treat the world. Own your worth, live your truth, and always, always respect yourself. Thank you.